Well, kids are asleep. They are in bed. It was an eventful night, but we're back. While our kids are sleeping, podcasts. It's been a while. I think it's July, and the last one we did was in October. But you know what? Life has been awesome, crazy. A lot has changed since October, which is kind of funny to say that. But
oh gosh, it has.
yeah. So yeah.
But we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Podcasts.
It's been awesome because we had a lot of people go, what happened to the podcast?
Oh, yeah. It's really, I didn't think a lot of people listened to it. And then, I mean, at least.
I didn't think so at all.
At least I would say once a week, but I'm not always out in public once a week. But at least every time I go out in public, someone asks about, like, when are you doing the next podcast? I haven't heard it from one. I haven't heard one in a while.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was in October. I think it was like, maybe it was even the Halloween one. Yeah, it was the Halloween one.
It wasn't the last one, was it?
Maybe. I can't remember.
Know.
Anyways, it was so long ago that Google asked me if they wanted us to keep our email. Yeah, I said yes because I knew we would eventually do it again.
Good.
But yeah, so we're back. We're excited. Those that listen and those that hang out with us just for a brief moment, we have changed up a couple things. Instead of having 3 camera angles, just one camera angle. We'll still be able to cut to like Erin talking and to me talking and all that stuff. For those that watch, those that listen, it's pretty much the same thing. Nothing changed there. But we flipped it. We flipped it. You see our lovely kitchen back in the background instead.
You don't see our TV anymore.
Our living room,
which I think is a good idea because then if we record while the Braves are playing, we can like watch it.
Yep.
And
so
record at the same time.
If you're able to,
well
in
done.
about 10 seconds, give us a quick update on the Braves. I mean, I've watched them with you, so I know everything too, but...
You just put me on the spot.
Go.
No, you just put me on the spot. Well, they just had the All-Star game.
Yes, All-Star game. We had, 8 players? I said we because I'm like, I feel
You're
invested.
a part of it. Yes, no.
So,
8 players. They actually had a inning in the game where it was a completely Atlanta Braves infield.
That
so
was
it was pretty sick. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, Murphy threw out 2 guys from home plate when they were trying to steal.
Yes.
I mean, he's just a beast. He's awesome.
There was a really awesome play by Raleigh, and it wasn't
throwing it to Olsen.
No, it wasn't during that. It was right before Olsen got put in. I don't know why.
When he threw it to Freeman.
But Raleigh was like caught it on his knee. It was like a jump catch on his knee, and he threw it from his knee, and people were going nuts. It's like all over Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. So,
and then the next inning, when they put Olsen on first, he did another really cool play with his bare hand, and then tossed it to him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Braves, they're doing awesome. I think they're number 1 team.
Overall, actually, they've won. They were the first to hit 60 games, which is insane because everyone thought that'd be Tampa Bay because they've been like dominant all year.
And they beat them twice out of 3. So
we won the series.
We're
on an 11 series win record or run right now, and see, I say we. I mean they. I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, well, you support them very, very strongly. No, I was listening to the podcast I love to listen to, Bob Does Sports. They have one called The Sportsman. It's Joey Colcutt's and The Ticket. And I meant to show you this, but like Joey Colcutt's, they talk a lot about betting. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm going to bet on the Braves in the over. Now, I don't really understand the terminology of betting. I'm getting there. I don't bet. South Carolina doesn't allow you to bet like bookie bets. Anyways, yet, I guess. But he said from now on till the end of the season, I'm betting on the Braves every single game. He goes, he said something like they'll win 9 in a row, lose 1, and then win 9 in a row again. He goes, so if you can win 9 out of 10 bets, you're going to be sitting pretty. So I was like, and they're from California and, Philly and all that. So Braves are getting, they're pretty fancy around town, anyways, so
but yeah, so that was pretty cool.
yeah, Braves doing good.
Yep. Strider and Elder got to go, but they didn't pitch because they both pitched against Tampa right before the All-Star game. Which I respect, not putting in your pitchers for the All-Star game if they've just pitched and you need them for upcoming series. I think your regular series are way more important than the All-Star game.
Yeah, no, you really like that. You text me that, and you're like, I kind of like this, but
well, I also liked that they obviously, I feel like Acuna has just an open invitation to the Home Run Derby every single year, but he decided not to do it this year, mainly because he wanted to give. He said he wanted to give other people a chance to go at it. Some people were saying it might have been because he didn't want to mess up his swing. He's had, last year it was the first year back from his injury. Yeah. He wasn't completely Acuna, but this year he's been
good.
He's been good, and then Olsen completely also denied the request, or didn't want to do it because of not wanting to mess up his swing.
Yeah.
He said it was honored to be asked, but not for him.
Yeah. So Braves are doing good. We're enjoying it. They're actually starting back the second half tomorrow night. So we're filming on a Thursday night or something like that. We've been wanting to do this for months, to be honest with you. Let's sit down and do it. Finally got things, straightened up, organized to do it. A lot of crazy stuff has changed. We are still running our business, Drew plus Erin. It's going great. We've partnered up with a really awesome photographer that you've been working with, Madison. I think that's been a cool, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get to follow her around at shoots and make some content for her, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really like doing that.
Yeah.
It's a nice breakaway from doing weddings constantly and...
Yeah, and a little more of a business side of it. With that, I changed jobs. So briefly, I currently work with a gentleman named Joe for his property business, J Properties. So if anything, you might have seen me in a video called Tasty Tuesdays. We have a lot of fun. It's a blast. Film podcasts for him, film all kinds of informational videos that he wants to bring out.
Very much like marketing
style stuff. But, he called me up one time and he was like, hey, I want to start doing food reviews. You want to be a part of the video? And I think I was the fastest yes.
Food,
but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Doing that. So new job, new stuff, getting a house, we bought it about a year and a half ago, kind of getting it still going. It takes a while. People said it takes a couple years to get your home.
It does.
So I'm actually working in the yard a little bit more, trying to get the
Never
grass to
grow. I'd see the day.
Yep, I know.
I was prepared to call up like lawn care.
Yeah.
But
she kept saying it, and I was like, no, we don't need to do that. But then it got to the point I was like, okay, the yard does not look that great.
Yeah. And we also no longer have a local HOA. Nobody in the subdivision really wanted to deal with it, so we hired an outside business who comes in once a month and makes sure everybody doing what they're supposed to do. And if they don't, they email you. And let's just say almost the entire subdivision got an email at the beginning of spring, and the letter.
Yeah, well, we got a letter.
We got the
to
letter
start
too.
Off, yeah. But an email
saying, "Hey, you need to cut your grass."
Yeah, so it was nice that we weren't the only ones that weren't keeping up with the yard.
I'm pretty sure the entire subdivision went out and cut their grass on the same day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But got into it, trying to get the grass to look good. I'm actually excited. Flower beds aren't looking too great, but I got a plan, and
since
I can't
there's
wait.
no flowers in them.
Yeah, they're just. It's kind of like clay with a little bit of weeds. So, gonna do that. So just busy. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of craziness. We're very excited. We are going to a Braves game end of this month. We're going for the first time in our marriage, right?
We're going on an actual vacation where I'm not pregnant and I don't have a baby.
Exactly. Because we've planned, but then she was either pregnant, and then we planned, and then Saint came, and we had to take him. So this is the first vacation together. We're going to a resort in Cancun. Very excited. Nothing too crazy, but I'm very pumped. Last night we stayed up all night and just watched YouTube videos of the place we're staying at because it kind of has some cool features to it. But
it's pretty awesome.
I was standing up dancing.
To I think what is it 7 natural water theme parks.
Yeah.
And so we
say
get
it's
to go to all of them.
Mexico's Disneyland.
Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah, because not World, but Land.
Yeah, Disneyland.
And what we saw looked amazing.
Yeah.
It looked sick. We're excited about that.
Except that one video where the guy literally made me sick.
Yeah,
he wouldn't stop moving.
There was a guy on YouTube that posted, and honest truth, he was talking, and it was good, but then like he kept like trying to show certain things by twisting, and me and Erin turned it off, and we're like, I need to go to bed. I don't feel too good.
No,
Both
I had a migraine
did not
and
feel
nauseous.
good. Yeah, slight headache.
Think
nauseous.
like going through the like windiest mountain road you could think of, but doing it really fast.
Yes.
Or being on the ocean and the waves are like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like maybe
it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was just bad.
It was very bad.
But yeah, no, excited about that. I had an amazing April. I went to the Masters. Erin went with me on
you got
one
to
of the
go 3
days.
days.
I got to go 3 days. So we did get the lottery. For those that watch, in Augusta, they do a lottery pool or whatever. We won, or we got tickets to go on Wednesday.
Ticket, yeah.
So we went to the par 3 contest. Got to get some of the merch earlier than most people that go during tournament days because it just goes by quick. So got some cool stuff there. But the coolest part is I have a good friend that got me, last 2 years got me tickets for Saturday. Saturday rained, if you know that, if you watch the Masters. So I took a buddy of mine. We literally, I think, stayed till about 1 o'clock and then left.
Yeah, well, they stopped play at like 3.
Yeah, it was
2 or
bad.
3.
I got to follow John Rahm. If you've watched previous episodes, I'm a big fan of John Rahm. Got to watch him all the way up to that point, and then I left. And on the way back, or the day of, or something like that, my good friend was like, "Hey, the person that wanted the tickets for Sunday felt bad for the person that got the tickets on Saturday, and they're not as big of a golf fans. They want you just to have
Keep
them
for Sunday.
Sunday." And if you know anything about golf, Sunday is like the last day. And the most amazing thing happened. I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I drove to the Augusta National, parked. Waves of people were there at the same time. Waited at a gate, waited at another gate, and then at like 8 o'clock ran to the last hole John Rahm was playing at.
He followed John Rahm the
entire
day. So the rest of his round from Saturday, and then
from the whole
his whole
7
round on Sunday.
Yeah, from hole 7 to then, and then he teed back off at 2 o'clock. Erin was able to come.
I showed up at what time did I get there?
You got there right at 2.
Yeah,
you got there right at 2 because we did miss.
I should have gotten there earlier, but because there was
parking was insane.
Yeah, I think I walked 2 miles just to get to. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So much pain.
It was crazy. I walked her to her car.
You did, and At
the end of the day, because we stayed for the whole. I stayed for the whole day. I was there the whole day. Erin came at 2. We stayed for his whole round. Around hole 14, we ran to 18 because I placed 2 chairs down. Got an amazing spot.
It was really cool to see John Rahm win, though.
Yeah, and watched. She spoiled it, but watched John Rahm win.
I didn't know if you were ever going to get there.
No,
sorry.
I was just, the build up. It's always nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, watch John Rahm win the Masters of 2023. That's, the cup right here, if you can see it. The Masters 2023. Got a flag. One day it'd be kind of sick to get him to sign it. Probably won't. Anyways, or won't be able to have him sign it because I don't know if I'll be able to be like, hey, John, can you sign this flag? But he is a Masters winner.
You could get one of the kids interested and have one of them ask.
Yeah, have captain. How would you say no to a little pale redhead?
I know. That's like a crime.
Oh, the cool thing about it, though, is like for 5 of the holes, I stood right next to his wife. And like,
I don't know if you should share that.
Well, no, I did. Well, no, I thought it was cool. I stood right next to her.
Yeah.
I knew who she was because I seen her on TV before, and I didn't do the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be like, hey, are you John Rahm's wife? Man, I love him. I think he's awesome. I didn't do that though. I was very proud of myself.
I'm so proud of you.
You would have been embarrassed of me.
Yes.
I almost did it. There was one point where this guy, he was a jerk and an idiot. He was criticizing John like and everything he was doing on that certain hole. I think it was like the 9th hole or something like that. And he's like right in front. No, it was the 12th hole. He was right in front of his wife, and he was just bashing it. And I looked over at her, and it was pretty cool. She just smiled. So I was like, that's pretty cool. She's hearing someone like talk a bunch of crap about her husband and how he's not that great of a golfer and that Brooks Koepka should win. Don't get me started. And I was like about to say something, and I decided not to, but it was pretty cool. Anyways, Masters was awesome. Had a great time. But yeah, it was a lot of things. I know some people have asked about the Lord of the Rings review from Erin. We're not going to do that today, only because she would,
I don't think
go
I
on
would.
forever.
I told him I would talk about it for like a second and just be like.
But we all know that a second is going to be turned into 10 minutes.
I'll just say that I think when I first we recorded talking about it, I'd only watched the first 2.
Yeah, we watched the first 2.
episodes.
You're very skeptical.
I was skeptical.
Very
they
skeptical.
were slow episodes. But I would say the last 3 episodes specifically were really, really well done. I mean, so good.
Oh,
Kept
yeah, it
you on
was
the
great.
edge of your seat. The way that they ended the whole season was really, really good.
I think I was out of town and you finished it and you texted me and you're
did.
like, this is great. This is
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait, for the next season. There's some spots that were like question marks.
There's some stuff that they ran with that wasn't really there to run with. There's some things obviously I don't agree with. There's some things that they kind of made up, but I really liked.
Yeah.
I think that all the work they did with the imagery of Numenor, Middle Earth, everything they did there was super, super good. I really liked that. They never showed Numenor in Lord of the Rings, which is, well, you just have to watch it if you don't know what that is. They never showed it in Lord of the Rings, but they talked about it. So it was cool to actually see the place that you hear so much about, but yeah.
Yeah, so, I think if I'm not sure when the next season comes out. I know it took them forever to make this one, but maybe we'll do another watch through it, and you can get more detail, do more episodes. But I think the first episode coming back from the break, I don't think it should be a Lord of the Rings rant.
I don't want it to be. It's okay.
So, but yeah, so
we could have a Masters rant.
No, but the Masters is. I almost say Masters is way more important than Lord of the Rings, and I've only stated it. I didn't say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But
so next topic.
But yeah, no, the boys are doing great. Captain is 6, Lion is 4, and Saint is 2 now. They're doing great. They drive us crazy. Had an eventful night tonight. Erin went off to a movie. And let's just say Lion ate half of a chapstick and played with mommy's perfume.
You cannot confirm that he ate the chapstick.
That's very true.
Because
his feet were
very on his feet.
Vaselined, if that's the right word.
It was very shiny.
It's very shiny.
His face was shiny.
Yeah.
So we can't confirm. I don't think he ate it. I really don't.
I hope not.
That's not his
see
thing.
his finger dipping into it. So why he got to a chapstick was Captain has, he tends to get some really chapped lips during the summertime, I feel like, or when he eats something salty, he licks his lips all the time.
Yeah, just gets chapped.
So I put some on his lips, and I said, I'll, put some more on, buddy, when you go to bed. And so I put it in our bathroom, and our sweet Lion, I walked upstairs to tuck them in, snuck out of his bedroom. He was running. It's always cute to watch him get scared and run because he's just he runs like a little hobbit. But ran from the bathroom all the way to his bedroom. I'm like, oh, that happens before. But then I saw the chapstick on the ground, cap off, and half of it was gone. So I Googled it. I don't think, anything. Nobody said, even the ones with chemicals in it, you put it on your lips. So it's kind of like
he might just have an upset stomach.
Exactly. They said it might kind of be like a laxative in a way. He might have
bless his little heart.
Might have to use the potty in the morning. Let's just say. But anywho, yeah, dealt with that. But got them tucked in. Got this set and ready because we were going to do it. So But yeah, so I know in the past we did a top 5. I'm not saying we're not going to do a top 5 ever again, but
we're going to switch it up a little bit.
We're going to switch it up a little bit. One of my favorite podcasts, you've heard me talk about, they do a segment called the Buy or Sell. So, Erin, basically, I kind of briefly told you about this, but not in depth. You're going to think of something in your life or what you heard or something that you like or dislike that if you like it, you're going to buy into it. Mm-hmm. You're really going to buy into it. Like gotcha. Lord of the Rings, you're buying into Lord of the Rings. But if you want to sell, you're going to sell on, umpires at, Braves games because they're just the worst. And that means that when you sell, it doesn't mean you can't in the future buy it again, but you're going to have to explain why. I have a few. I'm probably only going to do 1 or maybe 2.
Let's just start with
But this is a new segment. This is a lot. Hopefully it's going to be, fun. But you ready?
Yeah.
You got one?
You go first.
Okay. I have one. I have 3, but I'm going to not do 1. Anyways, I'm beating around the bush. Mm-hmm. I'm going to sell. And this is what I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell the brand new app Threads. If you are on Instagram, Facebook, or anything, you see everyone going this new Threads thing. Now, it can be a little political because, Twitter's run by Elon Musk now. Instagram, Facebook's run by Zuckerberg. They kind of have a rivalry. Zuckerberg's one side, Elon's one side, I think. I'm pretty sure he's an alien. Anyways, but Threads is basically Twitter. I don't really do Twitter. I get on for when South Carolina football happens. I kind of can get updates, but now it's called Threads for Instagram. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid.
I think it's ridiculous that you can't, if you want to no longer have Threads, you have to also delete your Instagram, or you can just deactivate Threads. Now, you can just deactivate it, which means everything's still there. It's just kind of frozen. And then,
or no, it's just like having an Instagram that you don't use anymore. It's just going to sit there. But whatever. But my main point in that's ridiculous. I hate that part of it. I'm like,
I hate when things are combined like that. Like, why can't you just have them separated? Hey, if I don't want to use this anymore, it's done, but I still want to use this. It's just weird that they would combine those. Yeah. And not just say, hey, Instagram's been Instagram for forever.
Yeah.
Why do we now have to have this?
Well, and it's like Facebook bought Instagram. They did stories, reels, and all that. And we all enjoy that. I do. Excuse me. I'm glad it's grown in that way, I guess. For us videographers and people that make videos, it's really cool. But my main thing is like, it's just another daggum app. And maybe I'm showing my age. How old am I now? 35? Yeah. It's bad. I can't remember. I almost said 36, but that doesn't sound right. 35. Anyways, and it's just, are you kidding me? Like, anyone that makes content creation, or you're a content creator is what I mean. It's like, okay, here's another thing I got to make for potentially whoever's out there using it. Yeah. I really enjoyed back in the day when, it was just Instagram and Facebook. Now you have YouTube that's grown, which I enjoy. I mean, I've sat down for a whole night and watched YouTube videos. But
I'm with you. I don't care for Twitter. I've never used Twitter. I got a Twitter randomly I don't even remember why I got it. I think it was just to get some news. Yeah. But I never get on it. I don't even have the Twitter app.
And now it's just all kinds of trash. It's constantly negative. And I'm like, here comes another nap.
It's been like that forever though. Twitter's, I feel like, it's always been, it's literally always been that way. It's an app for people just to talk to, just to hear themselves talk, but they're not really hearing because obviously you're just typing. So just to see themselves talk.
Well, and then also you can make a fake account and just totally be so negative or so harsh towards somebody, and who knows, maybe it goes viral. It's got its
pluses for people who like sports or people who do follow some news outlets, things like that. But overall, I've never enjoyed Twitter.
Threads.
I thought it was always overrated.
It just sounds ridiculous. I mean, I say that I don't have one. I actually don't plan on getting one. There's other apps that came out that I was like, I'm not going to get them. They've kind of faded. Also, Periscope, I don't know if you remember that. It was like a little video thing that you can do. You got Tumblr that's faded out.
I thought Snapchat was going to fade out. It still hasn't. It hasn't for the younger.
I used it back
younger crowd, but I remember when it first came out.
Well, it's so funny because like I have a golf buddy, and I'm not gonna say his name because he might watch and listen, and I'm not judging him, but like I'll watch over, he'll be golfing, and he's like just randomly, and then he texts and he puts them down, and I'm like, well, what'd you just do? He's like, oh, I just sent somebody a snap. I was like, but you took a picture of your shoes, and I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, it's just a way to message somebody, and I was like, what happened to the good old fashioned text? Like, what happened? But anyways, crazy stuff. Yeah. So
I don't judge
my
anybody.
cell,
Those things just aren't for me.
it's just like my cells, Threads, the new app with Instagram. It's to me, it's silly. But
You gonna buy anything?
I'll let you go if we have time. I'll do a buy. I have one that's really funny and then one that's pretty cool.
I have a buy and a sell.
Then you go.
You want me to start with my sell? And then
we'll do that, and then
we'll
I'll
both
do buy and
okay.
do buy. Okay, let's do
Okay.
that. I just got excited for something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm actually gonna sell the All-Star game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's awesome. I think it's an awesome idea. I think it's really cool that the fans kind of get to choose who they like, who's their favorite. It's an honor for those guys to be chosen to the All-Stars for sure. But the game itself, the last 2 years that I've tried to watch it, it's just I barely get to actually see the game.
Yeah.
They're like showing people getting interviews, or they're showing past like games that these players have played, or they're showing commercials, or they're showing things that don't matter. And it's just strange to me that you've got an all-star game, all these all-stars are on the field, and I barely get to see them play. I mean, half the time they'll come off of like somebody talking and we're already like one out. Has happened, and I didn't even see the out happen.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. I don't like it. And honestly, I'm sorry for anybody that did like the jerseys this year, but when I first turned the TV on, I thought I was watching a minor league team play another minor league team.
Like the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just telling you, the jerseys, they were not good. They were not good.
Yeah.
Sorry for anybody. I actually didn't mind the black pants. Like, that was cool-ish. Yeah. But again, it still reminded me
There was a team that used to do that. Why do I want to say the Reds did that?
I don't know.
Maybe the Diamondbacks. Anyways.
But it still reminded me, like, I turned it on and I was like, this is a college team or a minor league team. This does not look like, Major League Baseball uniforms. But in general, I just haven't enjoyed it because I can't actually see the players play.
Yeah.
I do like when they mic the players sometimes. I mean, for the All-Star game, doesn't matter because, again, the All-Star game really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, who wins, who loses. But so, like, seeing the players get mic'd is cool, and getting to hear how they talk. They had Aaron Judge.
And it's funny you say that, though, because one of the podcasts that I listened to they do the buy and sell. A guy sold the All-Star game.
Did he?
And he sold the Home Run Derby and All-Star game in just a week, and he said it just doesn't do anything for him. But he's the opposite. He thinks it's ridiculous that they're miking guys that are trying to play in the game.
I think it's ridiculous to do it during regular season. All-Star game.
Yeah, regular.
Because those guys, I hate.
Spring games, sure.
I can't.
All-Star, okay.
The All-Star is like, okay, cool. Mic them if you want to. Yeah. Because to me, the All-Star game doesn't matter. Yeah. So I'm like, if you're going to mic them, the All-Star game's a good chance to mic them.
Yeah.
But I get so irritated in an actual game and somebody's mic'd or they're interviewing the coaches. That irritates me that you're interviewing a coach during a game that they're trying to like be a part of and coach. Like they actively need to see what their players are doing, how the game's playing out, and you want to take them away from that to interview them for your TV segment when we really just want to see the game. Yeah. Like, honestly, if you want to interview the coach before or after, cool. Same thing with players. If you want to interview players before or after, awesome. I don't think it's a place for it in the game, and I definitely don't think there's a place for players being mic'd during a actual
regular game. Yeah,
that
could be important. Yeah.
Yeah, like, how can you focus on
and then you
playing
got the
and
mic
doing
on?
it? Well, see, the people who usually do it are the ESPNs or the Foxes. Those are the ones. If they're on one of those, that's when that usually happens.
Yeah,
and it's just. I sell it. I sell the home run derby too.
Well, it was really funny. We
Don't care for
turned
the
it.
home
We
run
turned
derby.
it on, and like
I was watching it on my phone while you were watching the challenge.
Yeah.
And then
Way to throw me out there. Yeah, I enjoy the challenge. It's catching up.
Anyways.
CT bananas. Big fan. Anyways.
So I was watching it on my phone while I was editing, and he was watching the challenge. And for a few minutes there, it was getting pretty good. Yeah. Like, I was actually seeing things happen, and then all of a sudden,
Commercial. All of a sudden, an interview. And I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, all the Braves are in the game. That's pretty cool. I turned it on. The inning was over. I'm telling you, we watched for 5-6 minutes, and they just started the inning. And then, like, I will give it to the pitcher. I can't remember who it was. He threw 3 out, and then we went straight into the commercial, and then they came back with, like, a tribute to something. And then they came back with, interviewing, like, Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez. And I'm like, are we going to watch the game? Like, and as the game's playing,
we weren't even watching the game. But like, if you want to have them overlaying the game, like they're talking while you're watching the game, that's cool. But they have the cameras to those guys, and we're watching these guys talk. We don't need to see these guys talk. We want to watch the game if we're going to watch it. And then also, a lot of things don't usually happen during the All-Star game. You have your best against your best. It's not usually a very exciting game.
Yeah.
I mean,
honest truth, I've never watched an All-Star game. The
last two have
been
very entertaining.
And if I watched it, I don't remember.
But watching Murphy throw those two guys out, stealing, that was entertaining, I've got to say.
All right, so selling threads, selling the All-Star game, MLB All-Star game. I'm going to buy something, and I'm going to buy, and this is going to be silly, I'm going to buy Reebok tennis shoes.
Hey, I'm with that. Yeah, let's do it.
So, I love Reeboks now. I wear all the classic, like I guess they're called classic, but I kind of, got like 4 or 5 pairs now. I think they're sick. I think they're awesome. A lot of people pass on them. I know I have some friends that wear them. But like we bought some for Captain. They're great price.
Last year. And loved them. Like, they came in immediately. When we ordered them, we were both like, man, those look good. We should get a pair, too. And then when they came in for Captain, he put them on. We were like, oh, man, sold. Done. We both bought a pair.
So we all bought a pair, very similar style. I think me and Captain got the same color.
Yeah.
Or you and Captain did.
You and Captain did. I had the blue, and you guys had the green.
We got the greens, and so it's just moved on. I got on Amazon for our trip. I was like, I want to get a new pair of shoes. Erin got some ons to work out in. So I was like, okay, it's time to get a new pair of shoes. I found a pair, and they're sick.
And I'm really jealous, and I want a pair.
And she wants a pair now. But, yeah, I mean, don't sleep on Reebok. I think they're pretty sick. They're kind of quiet. You don't really see a lot of advertisement for them. I don't know if they do anything crazy or whatever, like some brands do. Don't want to get into that. Who cares? But I enjoy it. And honestly, you get it quick. Like
a day or two
we've ordered
later.
them, and I think Captains especially, we got him some cool light up ones for school. They came in like 2 days later.
If you order from Amazon, you get the Prime, but we've also ordered them from Reebok store.
Yeah.
And the only thing about the Reebok store is they sell out pretty quick, and then you have to go find other places to get them.
Which, the pair I found was on Amazon. They're white with like a little brown trim.
But I think both of the pairs I got from Reebok.
Yeah.
And then we've gotten 2 pairs from Reebok for Captain, and we got the light up ones from Amazon for him.
Yeah. Captain loves them too. We love them.
Eventually, Lion and Saint will as well, but they just don't wear shoes often.
Lion loves his Buzz Lightyear shoes.
He does love his Buzz Lightyear shoes. And Saint really doesn't wear shoes that often.
No, Saint could care less, but he is too. He would wear his dinosaur onesie all day.
Yeah, I would.
And like, it's so funny. He'll realize he's wearing his dinosaur onesie, look down and go, "Oh, Rex!" And we're like,
"You've been wearing that all day.
Son, you've been wearing that all day." So yeah, real quick, that was my buy.
Okay.
I think that's my buy. I love them. I think they're cool, and I think don't sleep on them.
No.
Go look. They got some really sick shoes. So
that was a good buy.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I was surprised. That was
I
really
knew
good.
you were.
Yeah.
All right, your buy, and we'll see how much time we got. Yeah, we're okay. We're decent.
I'm gonna buy The Sound of Freedom, the movie.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm for it.
You've seen it twice now.
I've seen it twice now. Me and Andrew went to go see it yesterday, and then my mom had been wanting to see it too. So she wanted me to go with her, so I went with her tonight to see it.
Yeah.
And I love it for all the right reasons, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Very well done. The acting was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
It is based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And
very strong.
It brings to
movie.
light a topic that I've known about, have been aware of. It's been on my heart since 2012, the first time I ever saw a documentary about human trafficking. That's the first time I ever saw a documentary about it. And I remember they kind of explained these were women over in Europe, like Greece, Nepal, and India, how they would get roped into it a lot of the time. Some of them were like forced into prostitution. And you like wonder how does someone force you into prostitution? Well, they physically take all of your documentations, all of your passports, your license, everything, and they kind of basically isolate you, get you hooked on drugs, and then sell you. And then, I mean, once you don't have documentation, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck. But a lot of what happens too is women and men, this can be labor trafficking, this can be sex trafficking. There's many different types of human trafficking, but they look for jobs. So they go online, Craigslist, anything like that. A lot of them are looking for in-house jobs. So a nanny or a housekeeper or a cook, somewhere where they can get room and board and food, and then they also get the cost of labor. So that's what they're looking for. They'll apply for it, they'll get it. They're like, okay, we're going to fly you out, or, get you transportation, however far you are from where this location is. And then the moment you're in the car, you're done. I mean, the moment they're in the car, you're stuck. They take everything from you and you're forced into it that way. And that's kind of what these women went through with that first documentary I'd ever seen. Yeah. A lot of them just ended up having to find a chance to escape, and they would just run and luckily would find help. And it would take them a while to be able to go anywhere because they didn't have any documentation. Yeah. But that's kind of what Sound of Freedom was more about: child sex trafficking, child exploitation. And I just think it was a really strong movie. Told a really good story. A story a lot of people don't want to hear, don't want to know is actually going out there. It's not something people want to talk about, and that people don't think is real, because it doesn't touch them. You go out to the grocery store with your children, you do whatever you want with your children when, this happens a lot of times in places that are poverty ridden. Yeah. It's hard to keep track of things like that. These parents want good things for their kids.
Well, and they also you got to think sometimes the parents don't financially have the ability to hire somebody to help find their kid. And then there's, like you said, in some of these areas, it just happens all the time. So, the law enforcement are either already doing as much as they can, or they don't do anything at all.
A lot of cities overseas too, especially, I think one of them was Nepal and Greece. They were saying that these people who would oversee these things, your pimps, or people who oversee these trafficking rings, actually have ties with the police in those areas. So it is hard to get out of it. It's hard to get anything done, because who's going to help you if law enforcement can't help you? Only kind of help yourself with that. But it was a really good movie, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, all the way from how they filmed it, the cinematic look. I mean, a lot of the actors and actresses took a massive leap of faith in doing this. A lot of them aren't promised another job because of what they're standing up for. I think that's awesome. Just I'm a behind the scenes guy. There's a lot of really awesome, not planned things that happened in the filming of the movie that was really cool. It's just, it was
one of the things that you pointed out that was really cool was the guy Pablo from the movie. He helps fund Tim Ballard, who is the former FBI agent who goes into Colombia to help rescue the little girl in the movie. But even in real life, he did do this. He went to Colombia, originally still part of the FBI. When they told him they could no longer fund him, he said, well, I'm resigning. And then he got funding from outside to help him stay there and continue doing what he was doing. In the movie, it's a guy named Pablo who's a billionaire who helped him do it. Well, in real life, it was Glenn Beck who actually took kind of took the mantle there and helped raise the money for him to stay there. If nobody knows who Glenn Beck is, look him up. He does a lot of good work with things like that.
Yeah,
he's got a radio
DJ.
host.
Yeah.
He's a radio host, and he just recently, back when we pulled out of Afghanistan and left a lot of our civilians and people who were still working with U.S. citizens, period, whether they were in the military, government, or just actual citizens in Afghanistan that got left there. He helped fund and get the things together for a private operation where they went over there and rescued as many as they could.
Yeah.
They took, I don't remember how many trips they took, but dead of night type trips, flew in and got those people out of there.
Yeah.
So he helps do a lot of things like that, undercover, like behind the scenes type things. But he is out there as a DJ host, and it was pretty cool that's who he kind of represented in the movie. I thought that was
it's pretty cool. Yeah. But awesome buy. I mean, loved the movie. Loved, like you said, it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, please go see it, support it. It's awesome. But yeah.
A lot of informational things. Another plug for that is if anybody's actually looking to learn more about things like that, there's a organization, it's called Operation Lightshine. I found them a year ago, and they work as a task force unit to go out and rescue victims of human trafficking. They also help to make aware and prevent child exploitation. They work with law enforcement, other parts of the government to help find people who are trafficked and then go in and actually extract them. So you can volunteer, you can send money type things. It's a really cool organization.
Well, that's awesome. Cool. Buy or sell segment, I think went great.
I'm so impressed with the Reebok.
I know.
That was insane.
I have other ones because, we've never done this, so we're going to think of things that we always do. But we probably want to do both. We'll probably end up just doing one next time. This is a first episode back. I think it went great. This feels good, feels fun. When we did in the past, we always talked about, we could do this for the podcast, do this, but we also wanted it to be normal.
Yeah, you said buy or sell, and I'm like, there's so many things I'd buy, socks.
No.
Who doesn't want socks?
Yeah. So it's kind of buying stock in. Anyways.
I'd buy stock and socks.
Or Legos. Anywho, but yeah, so
Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah. Anyways. What was the one we just got?
We did the Rivendell.
Yeah.
What was that? 5,000 pieces? 6,000 pieces?
It was a lot. It took almost this whole table. There we go. We talked about doing this, and I'm going to bring it back up.
We should do it.
We might, I think I just hit the mic. Sorry. We might do a Lego set during a podcast. And we can just be talking.
Yeah.
Anywho. But yeah, everyone... I don't want to say we're back, but hey, we're
I wonder
filming.
How many times we'll mess up on the Lego set as we're talking.
I mean, we probably it could be that 10 minutes is silence because we're looking for a piece. And I'm like, hey, they left this piece out, and it's right there. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, had a good time doing this. I'm glad we're doing it again. Who knows? I know we're going to the Braves game in the next week or two. Maybe we'll do that kind of review on how. Because we did an episode of you going to the Braves game.
They're going to play the Angels. I'm excited to see Shohei Ohtani. I'm really excited to see the Braves, but if they're going to play somebody, I'd like to see Shohei Ohtani.
Cool. And then we got jerseys. I got an Olsen jersey. Erin got a free jersey. So we're going to go have a good old time. Maybe I'm hoping to break the
curse of getting a jersey and the player leaving. Yeah. Well, Freeman was technically already gone when I got the jersey. We just didn't know it. Yeah. And then Swanson...
Well,
it happens. It's fine. So, hopefully Freed stays. If not, I just get another jersey.
Yeah. No. Because then you're the curse, and we can't have that happen. I'm just saying. Anywho, thank you everyone for listening, or watching, or just hanging out with us. Our goal was to do this in 30 minutes, but we enjoy our company. I think we're at 45 minutes right now. That's not bad. 40. Maybe.
We can cut some of that down.
Yeah, who knows? Or we can leave it all. Maybe. But yeah, so this is While Our Kids Are Sleeping podcast. Thanks again for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
I was waiting to see if you're
you
gonna
waiting
do
to
it.
see
I'm
if
just
I
like,
can
if you're gonna do it. Anyways, see y'all.
See ya. I don't know. Don't know if it's like this or like this. I don't know.